you have discovered through the expansion of the internet world. I am Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen 30-Minute Podcast. We're going to be talking about your life, my life, and the world today. So sit back, relax, grab something if you need it, and let's do this. Hey guys, welcome to the 30-Minute Podcast, the Johnny Allen 30-Minute Podcast. Yes, I am the host, and it is, let's see, what is it today? It's September 16th. September the 16th and the year 2021, in the year 2121. Hey, how you guys doing? I wasn't here last week. I was I had to take the week off. I was kind of still mourning the loss of my good friend Rob Webb. I did a podcast on Rob the week before last. He had died of cancer, and it was a very sad thing. Missed him very much. Thanks for the folks that tuned in on that podcast. I definitely appreciate it. Rob was a great guy. That's all I could say. And so last week I just kind of took it easy. I thought, you know what, work was kind of weird, and I do work in healthcare. I'm kind of moving stuff around. I backed the camera up today just for something a little different. Anyway, I work in healthcare. It's been pretty hard on us. Over the past year and a half with COVID and everything. And, whether you're a shot person or not a shot person, a pro-vaccine, pro-not, whatever, I got the vaccine, Moderna, about almost a year ago. It'll be a year in March. A good friend of mine had the vaccine. He just got the variant. He's getting over it right now. Thankfully, he wasn't hospitalized, but it got him pretty sick. So, we don't know, like I said, the vaccines aren't a preventative, but hopefully they keep you from getting really sick. There's a lot to be known about this stupid, not really stupid pandemic, right? Actually, it's a smart pandemic because the virus keeps changing and they can't seem to really get a handle on it. Anyway, this is the Johnny Allen 30-Minute Podcast. Welcome again. First time subscribing, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, all that good jazz. I drink coffee on the show. It's CWE Coffee, Gourmet Coffee, my good friend up there in Michigan. Tim, hello, Michigan, if you're watching. Hello, Tim, if you're watching. Listen, go get that CWE Coffee. I'll have the link below. It's a beautiful day. Like I said, September 16th. I don't have a lot on the plate yet today, but it's just a beautiful day here in central Indiana, US of A. And so I'm going to go out and enjoy a little bit of it after I get done. But I wanted to just, shout out to the people that watched the last podcast with Rob Webb and the Hopeful Band. I do appreciate that. And I want to shout out here to, first of all, I went to go see Collective Soul. I saw Collective Soul last Saturday with my brother Michael, and thank you, Michael, if you're watching the podcast tonight. Mike, sometimes you're blessed to just have a really good family, and I'm blessed that I do, and blessed to have a really good brother, fantastic brother, best brother I could ever have. So if you're watching, Mike, kudos to you. He said, hey, he told me a couple of months back, I got these tickets to Collective Soul. Would you like to go? I said, sure. What day is it on? He says it's on Saturday, September the 11th, which was 9/11. And I'll touch on that in a minute. So I said, sure, let's go. I appreciated it. We got there. We had a little bit of a COVID scare, and I'll just share this story with you real quick. It's kind of funny. I'll share the trip. So anyway, it is 9/11, and we're thinking about, of course, the memorial of 9/11, right? And we went to see Collective Soul at this place called Rose Music Center in Huber Heights, Ohio, which is real close. Let me straighten my head out there, guys. Which is real close to Dayton, Ohio. Okay, real close. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from where I live. We cruised over there. We were doing great, no problems. It's a great place to go. I'll talk a little bit about that. But here's the story. We cruise over to Ohio. We're doing great. And we're like, we're 35, 40 minutes out, maybe an hour at the most from getting there to Rose. And we see this truck on the highway, and he's got one of these, bed covers. Some people call them tonneau cover. And this was a heavy-duty fiberglass one, not the cloth variety, not the, material, the lightweight material variety. This was the heavy variety. We see this thing bouncing up and down the guy's truck. And all of a sudden, my brother's like, I think it's going to go. And sure enough, woo, there it went. Flew out of the back of the guy's truck, took off like an airplane. And guess what? Coming towards us. So my brother, I tell you what, the good driving skills he had, he was vigilant. He got over as far as he could and missed us by this much. But, praise God, it didn't hit us. Came very close. Could have been a really bad accident. There was an older couple beside us in a Mustang convertible that were just cruising, and it missed them. It missed everybody, and just thank God that didn't happen. So anyway, we avoided that. And then when we got there, we were like an hour, like 45 minutes to, 50 minutes away from opening up the doors to Rose. And we go to the local Big Boy there to get something to eat, because neither one of us had anything to eat since 8 o'clock. And we're looking at about 5:15, 5:20 in the afternoon. So we're getting pretty hungry, right? So we cruise up to the Big Boy restaurant, and we get there, and they're kind of looking at us kind of funny, like we rolled in from Mars or Venus. But actually, it seemed like we went to Mars or Venus, because everybody that worked there seemed like they were aliens from another planet. Nothing against the Big Boy over there, but wow. The little gal, the young gal that came up and waited on us, I don't think she talked. She came up to us, and she just had some menus and laid them down on the table, and we said, how you doing? And she went and walked away. And we were like thinking, we were looking at each other like, well, that's odd. It's weird. And then she comes back, and we said, she just looks at us. And I'll use my phone as an example of, okay, this is her, writing. Well, you know what? I'll tell you the truth. She didn't even have, that's right. She didn't even have a notebook or anything to write down our order. She wrote it on her hand. She wrote it on her hand. So I said, well, we're ready to order. And she's like, kind of like nodded. And Mike and I are still looking at each other like, what's going on? And then Mike gives the order to her, and she writes it down, scratches some things down. And I said, yeah, I just want something really, I'm trying to be lighthearted, right? I said, maybe she was having a bad day or something. I said, yeah, I just want, the Big Boy combo and, fries. Just give me a Big Boy and, hamburger and a fry and, and a water, and I'm good. So about 20 minutes later, our food comes, still no talking from the young woman. And Mike said, well, I think she's kind of maybe got problems of speech impediment or something. And I said, no, because she's over there talking to the waitress, and they're having a great old conversation. And I saw her eyes were all bugged out. I said, Mike, she's stoned, like majorly stoned. Now, whatever you want to do in your personal life, that's fine. But when you go to work and you're waiting on people, maybe she'd be off the meth a little bit. Maybe she shouldn't go there. Or whatever you're on. You shouldn't do drugs, right? I don't know. Anyway, she was stoned. So anyway, we're waiting around. And as we're waiting around for the food, I just happened to get on the phone to look at the Rose website to make sure that they were going to open the doors at 6 because the show was going to start at 7. So I just got on the phone to verify, right? So when I get on the phone, it's got all these COVID restrictions all of a sudden. Like, you're not getting in unless you have a COVID card. You're not getting in unless you have proof that you had a test. And Mike and I are freaking, especially Mike's freaking. He's like, I don't have a card. We both had shots, right? He's had J&J and I've had Moderna, but he didn't have his card. He said, man, I forgot it. We're 2 hours away from the house. There's no way we could go back and get it, come back. We missed the whole damn concert. So he's in a panic and a freak. And poor brother of mine, I'm like, don't worry, So we're searching around thinking, okay, maybe we can get a quick test somewhere. No one has it around there, no one has a quick COVID test to prove. So anyway, in a nutshell, we're kind of freaking out about this. And then finally I just said, you know what? We paid for our bill. I had that. First of all, I had to flag the girl down. Hey, we're done eating here. We need to pay. I don't want to walk out and not pay. You know, I'm not that way. So I just, gave her cash at the counter. We got to go. Boom, left, Keep the change. I think it was $1.50 for the tip or something because she just didn't talk. She didn't do nothing. I said, maybe $1.50 for just throwing the food down. Anyway, we left. We got out of there. We're searching around to try to get a test, and we figured out, okay, no one's got one around there. We got 10 minutes before the gates are going to open. The doors are going to open. So I just tell them, let's just go to Rose. So we go to Rose Music Center, park it. And I see thousands of people walking in there, no mask, no nothing. I tell my brother, I said, listen, they're not going to have a card. They're not going to have, all these people cannot have all this stuff that they say that they need. And sure enough, we just whizzed right in. Walked right in there. And no problems. And my brother was so relieved, and so was I, because we were like, what a bummer that would have been to drop almost $100 on a concert, drive 2 hours, duck, debris coming off a truck, miss that. Get food from a chick that's all messed up, right? All these things we avoided, and not be able to get in there and watch these 3 great bands. Well, everything worked out. We went and watched these 3 great bands. It was Tonic, Better Than Ezra, and Collective Soul. All 3 bands were dynamite. All 3 bands are great. The show was great. Everything turned out fantastic. I guess the moral of the story is don't worry about things unless you really need to worry about them, right? And another moral of the story is always be prepared. Make sure you bring stuff in case you don't need it, because most of the time you're not going to need it, but have it in case you do. So be prepared. So let's drink another cup of coffee, or have a drink of a cup of coffee. It's been a wild week. I can't tell you guys the last 2 weeks. It's been a wild year and a half, but this last week has just been wild, wild, wild. I mean, attitudes at work, attitudes. I'm not going to go there. It's just like, oh my gosh. Do you guys have that kind of day? Just comment below, or week or whatever. Is the whole world gone mad? I mean, really mad. It's just crazy. But it was good last weekend to go see Collective Soul and these bands. And I'll tell you this. So I'm going to skip over to the good stuff. So we go to see the concert. It was fantastic. All 3 bands. They recognized 9/11 because that was a horrible day 20 years ago. We all know about that. And I will give kudos to Rose Music Center in Huber Heights. So if anybody that's listening has never been there, I suggest go there, see a concert. Any of the workers over there, people from Ohio, hey, thumbs up to you guys, because Rose is awesome. Rose is awesome. Yeah, I mean, the pavement, it's got a nice parking lot, paved parking lot. It's all brand new. You get in there, the parking's organized. They don't charge you to park. You just go right in. The concessions are great. The lines go quick. The food is good. The beer is good. The seating is good. The sound is pretty good. I mean, everything about it. If you want to go see a show, go to Rose Music Center. If you're anywhere close to Ohio, Dayton, Ohio especially, Huber Heights, go over there. I can't say enough about it. I live pretty close to Noblesville, Indiana, which has got we call Deer Creek. I don't even know what it's called now, Rudolph or something. And it's nothing against the place, but this place, Rose has got to beat. I'm sorry, guys. Go check it out. Rose, Huber Heights. It's one of the best outdoor, musicians call them outdoor sheds. One of the best outdoor sheds I've ever been to. Collective Soul was great. I mean, the band has been around for 20-some years now, from the 90s. Ed Rollins, like my age, and he's beginning to show his age a little bit, was understandable. He still rocked out real good. You could tell that maybe he was a little, maybe just slightly winded and a little less energy than what he had back in the past, but that was 20 years ago, But I'll tell you this, the guitar player and his brother, he's a great guitar player, but he just kind of stands there and plays rhythm. He does his thing. But the bass player, he's spot on. The drummer's great. His drummer's like a couple years younger than me. Fantastic drummer. And Jesse, the guitar player of Collective Soul, Jesse, if you're watching, man, dude, was you tearing up the guitar that night? Wow. He's phenomenal. What a great guitar player. I used to love Joe, and I think he's a great guitar player. But, man, Jesse is just, that dude is in his own world. I mean, he's really feeling it. He was great. I never really heard, the first time I ever saw Better Than Ezra. Very impressed. Their drummer, fantastic drummer they got on the road right now. I don't know if he's been with them all along or what, but that drummer is amazing. And Tonic was amazing. Those guys are getting older too, and their songs are so good. Two of the guys were wearing hats just like this, the old Irish Derby hats. Tonic was fantastic. I'd never seen Tonic before either. Love their music. Whenever I go camping, we always listen to Tonic all the time and Collective Soul. But, man, live, they were great. Tonic was great. So, great time Saturday night. Thank you again, Michael, if you're watching. Collective Soul, that was a great show. Great concert. It was a good way to get away from all this stuff, the work and me losing loved ones, and just getting away from all of it for a while. I'm getting ready to go a week after next on our annual camping trip, which will be nice. I'm going to film a lot of that this time, guys. And I don't know if I'll do a podcast next week, but I may go ahead and just do that camping podcast. I'm going to film a bunch of wildlife. I'm going to take you on the wildlife excursion. I was going to do that a couple weeks ago, but the weather canceled out, but this one should be a go. I hope you guys are doing great. Like I said, I hope you guys are doing great. And I heard that, most people young kids watch YouTube for about 3 or 4 seconds and they're done. I think that's a habit that you shouldn't do. You should sit and watch for a while because you might get something out of everything that you watch, right? So, anyway, God rest Rob Webb's soul again. It's been 2 weeks. It's hard to believe. It's been 2 weeks in a day already. Hard to believe. Thanks again for watching that podcast. Dedication to Rob and the Hopeful Band. Kudos to, like I said, to my brother at the Collective Soul concert last week. Was fantastic. Like I said, what a way to get away, right, from things. And we just had a nice conversation, cruised over there, Ohio, 2-hour trip. It was neat. Very cool. If I get a chance, I'll show just, if it's any good, I'll show just a brief, very brief footage that I shot from my phone. I was running out of battery juice, so I didn't get to shoot a lot of it. But if you ever had a chance to go to Rose, guys, go over to Rose Music Center. Fantastic place. I really don't have a lot today because it's a nice day, and I am going to go out and try and enjoy some of this weather while it's still daylight. I'm gonna give a big shout out to healthcare workers right now. I know I am one, and I know we don't get what we deserve. And I know that this shot thing is a hot topic right now, or they're trying to make it mandatory at the workplace, especially healthcare. We had some people, and not my institution, but another institution, 100 of them said goodbye, and that kills the healthcare system. When you lose 100 people once in one hospital. Pretty tough. It's trying times right now especially when it comes to healthcare or anything. So I'm just going to put thumbs up to everybody out there. Sometimes we get ragged, and I'm going to be honest about this. We're all working like super hard. I worked like 9.5 hours today, and then I come home and do my little podcast. And I didn't have to, but I my upper management, though, is just like spot on. Kudos. Sometimes middle management, though, I don't know what it is about middle management, but sometimes middle management does not give us the credit that we deserve. And it's terrible. You shouldn't go in when your workers are working hard and they've been working hard and tell them that, well, you know what, guys, we need to pick it up a little bit. And there's just no room for sarcasm or things like that when people are working hard. Now, I will not name names because I like everybody I work with, but every once in a while there's some of this going on, and it's not good stuff. It's bad stuff, and it's multiple people, not just one or two, and it's just not good. We're working in a really trying environment, and the positivity rate has to be very high. Now, today we had a pretty good positive day. We joked and everything, and while we were working. But anyway, my hat's off to the healthcare workers everywhere around the world. Kudos to you guys. If your bosses won't say it, I will. Kudos, and appreciate the hard work that you guys do, men and women. Also, kudos to the military. Kudos, and we're going to remember everybody from 9/11. That was a horrible day. We always got to remember that day, guys. I pray to God it never happens again, but it could, and we have to stay together. All right, before I go here, it's a shorter podcast tonight, but like I said, I'm looking forward to the end of the month because I'm going to set up some cameras. We're going to film some nature, the camping, and I think you guys will enjoy that. Before I go, we'll say hi to Barkin' Barney. There he is. Hell yeah, Mr. Barkin' Barney. He's got that look, right? What the hell is going on? You know what is going on? You know, I mean, wow, it's crazy. One last thing too. This was kind of funny too. On my phone, you guys get this craziness on your phone, right? It just pops up that they said that Keith Urban died, right? They got this like fake celebrity death thing where they take a celebrity and they say they died. So my phone's like blowing up like Keith Urban died. I'm like, what? And folks, it wasn't Keith Urban. It was his manager. It was his manager who passed away, not Keith Urban. Oh, boy. I mean, you know, come on. You know, we've lost a lot of people anyway. Oh, yeah, we lost Norm, the comedian, and I'm spacing his last name right now. Oh, McGovern, you know, Norm McGovern. Was his name McGovern? Oh, come on, guys. Anyway, Norm from Saturday Night Live, okay? He passed. He had cancer, 61 years old. Another one that had cancer. You know, cancer, like I said on the last podcast, is a wicked disease. And boy, I hope we can get a cure for it. I hope we can. Also, one last thing before I go. This is the last thing. Be very careful. And I won't show you my number. That doesn't matter anyway. This card's dead anyway. Because be careful of these things here called the charge card, your bank accounts. Mine got hacked. And luckily I have a good, I have a good bank that backs it, that warned me about it, shut it down. And so there's a lot of credit card fraud going on. And so whatever kind of protection you use it. I mean, thank goodness my banks catch it. But I never used that card. I used it once at a gas pump. It could have got from the one gas pump that I used it on. And the other I used buying car parts on the internet. And I used it on Amazon once. And some people say that Amazon, when you use your credit cards on your Amazon, just be really careful because people are getting hold of them and they're hacking and they're robbing. I called the representative because I went to go make a payment and the representative says, hey, we locked your card down because we have fraudulent activity possibly. So we go through it and he said, hey, Dad, did you go to Walmart? This card in particular is only a $300 limit. So it was like, oh, you know nothing. Did you go to Walmart 2 days ago? No. Did you try to charge $1,500 Walmart? No. Did you try to charge, $3,000 in New York? I said, no. I said, no, I've been to New York. I haven't been to Walmart. So, yeah, so be really careful about, watch your bank accounts real close. I check mine every day. Because like I said, people are doing, it's just wacky. It's wacky all the way around. That's why you go see concerts. And that's why you hope that you can get in and they don't stop you because you don't have a COVID card or something. That was actually on their website. That's the only thing I can say about Rose. Don't put that stuff on your website. The only negative thing I can say about Rose Music Center, don't put these things on your website saying you got to have all these credentials. You freak people out. And no one said anything. They just said, okay, they waved a wand to make sure you wasn't packing heat or something or a knife and said, yeah, come on in. By the way, have a beer, That's the way it should be. No mask, no nothing. It was all good. Anyway, like I say every day, the Lord willing. Thanks again, guys, for stopping in. But the Lord willing, I'll see you guys maybe next week. If not, I'm going to take you camping with me, man. We're going to do that annual camp out. I don't know how many people are going to join us this time. It's dwindled down to my brother and I. We might have a couple more guys join us though this year. My good friend, he had died a year and a half ago. He was one of the main guys that would go with us. He no longer is here. He's with us in spirit, though. So, all right. Cheers, guys. Again, thanks for joining in. Stay safe out there. Enjoy life because, like I said all the time, enjoy life because it's too damn short. And just be safe and careful because you always got people trying to screw with you all the time. Whether tell you you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, even though you're working your tail off and you're still there at the place, or you got somebody trying to hack into one of these. Whatever the case may be, just stay positive and be careful and protect yourself. All right, thanks for joining me, guys. Rock on. If you haven't seen the Crossroads Saints or looked up the Crossroads Saints website yet, I'll have that below too. Check out the music and please support that band. Kudos, guys. Later.